Oh my gosh, look at the rust on it. Welcome to the episode, folks. As I was driving, there was sneezing and coughing, spluttering inside the plenum chamber. The top mechanic said, experienced guy of 45 years, he says, "Ooh, sounds like an inlet valve is not closing." As I dig deep into it, we're gonna get the outcome. It's time to make my Ute great again. Just a few more dollars. Just heading to the shed. Started working on the V6 Buick. The problem on it's getting worse, so I'm just getting a feeler gauge. Just pulled the rocker cover off, and I'm going to check the clearance. If there's no clearance, we'll have to pull it apart, because when you accelerate, it's exploding sort of thing in the plenum chamber, and so that means a lifter's probably stuck. And I've seen a bit of debris on the rockers there, a little bit of rust from the 10 years it was sitting in the paddock. Looks like we're pulling the cylinder out of head. All right, let's have a look in here. I did have a set of feeler gauges from England, but I haven't seen them since I've come back. I haven't gone through it, so I'm hoping there will be a set here. Got a lot of little machine tools here, but I'm looking for the feeler gauge. Doesn't look like it's in here. There's a lot of taps, a lot of all different incremental drill bits. They were in order, but not anymore. So like this, they're more taps, they're metric, and the drills. Where can it be? Because the workshop is not finished, tools are everywhere. And have a look, these are all the English tools in these crates, and should be around here somewhere. Tape measure, Allen keys, sockets. Oh, here it is. Thank goodness, found it. I found it, lass. This is a metric set, 1 millimetre, 0.85, so it's 2 thou, 4 thou, 5, 8 thou, 0.3, 12 thou. My guess is, I used 0.1, that's 4 thousandths of an inch, folks. Yeah. That's the exhaust on the left. See the exhaust there? It's the exhaust on the left. So this is the inlet, this is the one that lets the fuel in. And you put it under here. And of course I've got to turn the engine over. Well, there's none of them got clearance, because maybe I don't know what I'm doing. No, what it is, they're hydraulic tappets, so I don't know if you use this formula. But the thing is, we're looking for... Jeez, I dropped it. Should be down here. I dropped that feeler gauge, and I've got a mechanic's magnet. Here it is. See this stuff here? That stuff there, I think that initially was a bit of rust. So if you're sitting in a paddock for a long time, that's what happens, folks. Yeah, there. Look at all the debris. Yuck. Gee, I think I'll have to change the filter. Needs a whole big wash. This engine is American, so everything's imperial. So this is a 3/8 bolt, 10 millimeters wouldn't turn it. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to pull the rocker off. They've got hydraulic lifters, right? So I'm told. Pull the rocker off and get the push rod and turn the engine. If the push rod doesn't move, then the lifter's stuck. See, have a look at the engineering on this. Isn't it beautiful, folks? So when you pull this out, here's the push rod. This is the cylinder that wasn't working. This is number 1. You pull the push rod out. Oh my gosh, look at the rust on it. Look at that. Look at the rust. Anyway, we'll clean that up, and I'm going to turn the engine, and I'm going to see, this push rod is supposed to go up and down like that. Well, I think the lifter is a hydraulic lifter, so it's down the bottom. But if it doesn't go up and down, the lifter's stuck. Then I've got to pull it all apart. What I've got to do, that didn't move. So it's a theory. It's a theory. See if it goes down now. don't know if it'll damage it, but maybe I'll wind it a few more times. I'm going to pull this chamber off. It's called the valley, so it's the intake. I'm going to start pulling it apart. The mechanic said today, the experienced mechanic says it's either inlet gasket leaking or maybe a cylinder head gasket. I think there's either three things. Wouldn't be a lifter stuck, I think that's okay. And then to spray on WD on the inlet, see if it improves it, but I'm not doing that. I'm pulling it apart. I don't have time, I've got to get it right, and so I'm going to pull this off. Alright, so that's inlet and the chamber here, see there? So that's got to come up. These are, you got fuel in them, a little bit left over. Oh yeah, it comes with it, but it's got the injectors on it. Oh, Uncle Scrooge. This is a V6 Buick Ecotec Aussie built. Out like that. I got a little sensor here. There we go. Here we go. So, looks like they have had the gasket off there before. Doesn't look too much. This is the problem child. See, it's black. Now, it could be leaking there. This is not the head gasket. This is the inlet gasket. And, whoa, look at that one. Jeez. Probably that's why it's heating up. Just in that one, you have to have that angle. Sitting a long time. See this? Look at the crud. That's a water jacket. No wonder when you're in traffic, look at that gunk. When you're in traffic. Oh, that looks like a bit of a seal. Oh, it's been off before, I think. Look at that. But I'll do it right, folks. You know that. Oh, look at it. It's gummed up. So when you're in traffic, the fans always come on really quick, like at the lights. I'm thinking, why? It needed a flush, ladies and gentlemen. Probably that gasket. Looks like maybe it's leaking here. Not sure if this is the answer, but I will have to get a brand new gasket, and that's it here. See this? And it's all big one piece. You can never put an old gasket on. Never, ever. Look. Here it is here. Falling apart. Now, I'll get it out. There it is there. Look at it. It's in poor state. I'll buy a new one tomorrow. Put it on and we'll just try it. Worst comes to worst, I have to pull the heads off. I'm not pulling the head off now. Don't think so. And we've decided to buy brand new cylinder heads for it. Cost more than the car. It costs more than the car. Oh my gosh. We got new parts everywhere. Get this cover off, matey. Oh, it switched over. There you go. Everything's automatic around here. Just press the button. Ah. How can you fail? How can you lose? There's the rocker assembly. And then in there's all the bolts. I've got some decent spanners to get the head off. You're waking up. Oh, the Viking, the waking up. Oh, the Viking, we love the car so much. We put all the cash in there, and how much you get out to get back. Oh, the Viking, 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 gotta wake up, awake. So this is where Tradie Gun Ryobi meets Buick V6 block. I've already cracked them all. It's the hardest one, this one. All the bolts are loose. How many is there? Like there's 8. Now this should crack off and a lot of juice will come out. A lot of water, so it just goes on the ground underneath. See if we can get it. No. Well, I'll just get a pry bar. FX has got the minus pick. All right. Oh, here we go. Whoa, here he comes. I don't know if they call this the right head or the left head, because sometimes you look this way to the engine, or the driver's side, that's the right, this is the left, when you look in the engine bay, folks. All right, here we go. The first head to come off, and I've got to learn if it's the right or left. All right, here we go. These are like cast iron heads. Yeah, that one's black. I'll show you. Oh, jeez. Yeah, have a look. Have a look in here. See, it's burning nicely, that one. In there. Then there's that one. See, it's crisp, but this one's black. That one's black. Yeah, have a look at the difference. See, they're white down the bottom, and this one's black. And then, see, we don't know what's wrong. Well, we've got to have a look at the head gasket. Yeah, see how that exhaust is black and these ones are clean? It's a moment of truth, folks, if this thing's going to fit. And we refer to Johnny's calculations.
So I've come up with a formula, the sine, cosine, tan formula. And we're actually going to use the tan formula because we've got to work out the difference up here on the lean of the post from there to there. So we can calculate and bring these holes in the correct amount to cater for the sail. And the error I've worked out is 210 mil offset each post, which makes 420 mil from there to there. Overall, 5 meters is our figure between the holes, and that should work.
You've just seen his Pythagoras' theorem, and I do say theory, theorem, theorist. Yeah. I'll put 4.5 bags of high strength concrete in there, have a look. I'll put 4.5 bags in it, have a look how deep it is. This shade sail is from full root and it's 5.4 square. There you go, there's one. Easy peasy, pudding and pie. It's the girl that made them cry. It's so easy. Here we go. Come on, lad. Come on. There you go, pokies. Durable. Right, here we go. Pull it up now. See if the calculations are any good. Alright, then we've got our turnbuckle and I'll just pull it in. Flop, failure or success? Be a straightforward job cleaning the base where the heads go. Got to scrape that and clean it really nice and clean. See that? It's the old gasket. And then I'll vacuum all the ports. And here they sent a gasket set. So this guy uses rare spares. Ecotech V6 valve regrind set. What you need, the cylinder head gaskets, the valley gaskets. There, that's them. The rocker cover gaskets, they're valve seals, I never use them. Keep all this stuff in the inventory because we just want to put it on, start it up and drive away. Cutty. These are cast iron heads and they're reconditioned straight off the shelf. This guy has had them reconditioned months ago and has them on the shelf already. Good for mechanics to buy. Says on their GM. So look at that. That is the money. See, they're surface ground, so they're completely flat, and they are brand new valve. Oh, the shot peen valves. Look at that. This car will fly, and it used a way less fuel. Half the fuel it's using now. So this is the same head. This is the problem child. That one there, because I changed spark plug leads, coil box, everything. injectors, change them all. This is exactly the same, but of course you have different casting numbers because they may have cast this like 1 year later, you know, because they made the engines, what it is, 95 to 2001, 6 years of casting. To do quality control, if you have a bad batch, they want to know when it was cast and why. So that's why we have it. So there we go, inlets and exhaust, and have a look at that. So these will be all chemically washed and cleaned, surface ground, new valve guides, new seals. I don't know if they used new collets. They would check the spring tension. Hopefully the collets are new, or if it doesn't matter. And then, last of all, after it's all, and they grind the valves and they seat them, and then so the cylinder head gets ground as well. And this is all the money. This is what you're paying the money for. So they're like $1,000 each. And they get stored with oil on it so they don't go, like on his shelf, they don't go rusty. Are the heads the same? Looks like they're exactly the same. Can't believe that. Can't believe it. This says 18, it says 8. I haven't got the other head off the car yet, so, all right, side by side comparison. Let's see, we put that there. See it painted in black. Right. Looks like they're exactly the same. I might type it in on Google. Is the right and the left head the same? Thanks for watching the episode, folks. As you see, this is a proper project. We're going to make it 100% reliable. The old VS, mate. We love them.